Hello there, surprise! I am Sarah without the mask. How are you today? How is your Friday going? Well, I couldn't be with you today, so I thought that it was a good idea to record a video. So this is a real video that I'm recording right now. It's not these videos that I have been showing you that I did during the months that we stayed at home last year. This is real and this is just for Primero Ceande. So I thought that it was nice because there is just like a tiny final part of the lesson that we still have to see together, and I thought, well, why not explain to them the lesson, so the teacher who is with you, I don't know who you are, but hello as well, can be just there looking after you while I'm here being the teacher as usual. Okay, so I think it's nice that we take advantage of technology and we use it every time that we have the opportunity, right? And today it was a nice time to try. So I'm happy to see you, even though I don't see you, but I'm happy that you're able to see me. Well, let's go and see what we're going to do. We're going to be using your book. I'm going to be using the digital book. So we're going to be finishing the lesson with the last group that is still for us, the Echinoderm group. Then we're going to be also, let me find it there. We're going to be finishing the chart with the main characteristics of Echinoderms. Then I am going to show you more pictures and some videos, as we have been doing throughout these days, for you to understand better the main characteristics of the group. And finally, I'm going to tell you some activities that you can do at the end to finish the lesson with the teacher who is looking after you. Okay? So this is the plan. Let's go for it. So I think that you should have your book open and you should also have your chart with you. Listen to the explanation and then later we finish the chart together. Okay, let's go. So echinoderms. You know that I normally like to explain to you a little bit the meaning of the word. And in this case, the book is helping me because they're also giving you the meaning of the word itself. Echinoderm. It means spiny skin. I guess that you know what I'm talking about if you have any time found a sea urchin in the sea. It's really painful to find one. So a sea urchin, un erizo de mar, they have these very long spines that are really painful if you find them. But also, for example, starfish can also have them shorter than the ones that sea urchins have. But yeah, the surface of the animal is spiny, es una superficie espinosa. Okay. Nice. So the most important organisms in this group are for sure starfish, but there is a classification that you have in your book. Starfish belong to a subgroup of echinoderms that is called asteroids, los asteroideos. Many different types of starfish. We will see them in a minute. Then we have sea urchins, los erizos de mar. They belong to a group that is called echinoids. Okay. Then we have sea cucumbers that belong to a group that is called holothurians, las holoturias, also in Spanish. And then we have the sea lilies, los lirios de mar. And also, even though your book doesn't mention them, there is also another type which is called feather stars, las estrellas pluma. I think that it is really easy to understand why. Okay, in this case they have this, the arms are transformed into these feather-like structures which they're going to use to filter the water and obtain the nutrients from the planktonic organisms and planktonic substances that they have there. Okay, so similar to these lilies, the difference between feather stars and sea lilies is that sea lilies live attached to the bottom of the soil, to the bottom of the sea, and feather stars have like a free life. Okay, so let's go and see the main characteristics of the group itself. It's not very complicated how they look. In this case, we don't really distinguish different parts in the body itself, such as we have done, for example, with arthropods, that we distinguish the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. In the case of echinoderms, what we can say and what you're going to learn this year is that they have radial symmetry. So again, as in cnidarians, we can draw different symmetrical planes to divide the animal into two equal parts. In fact, their body is normally divided into 5 parts. If we're talking about a starfish, they will have 5 arms. But for example, in the case of sea urchins, let me look for them. If you take a look to the inner part of their body, they will also have 5 parts. Okay, so that's the main characteristic of the shape of the body. Then their vital organs are organized into something which is very typical just of this group of organisms, which is called the ambulacral system. In Spanish, exactly the same, el sistema ambulacral. And it is, again, I insist, a characteristic and organization of the vital organs of the animals. Okay, it's a series of tubes, es un sistema de tubitos that they are going to be using for a lot of different types of functions. Respiration, digestion, circulation of fluids inside, and they can even eject this ambulacral system out of their body to, for example, be able to perform movement. We will see it in a minute in a short video that I have prepared for you. Yes, good till here. And then they have just one entrance and one exit, which is below the animal, okay? So they have a mouth there to obtain their food, but also it works like the anus to expel the waste. Nice. Vital functions. Well, if we talk about the nutrition, they have very varied forms of nutrition. Starfish, for example, they're active hunters, they're carnivores. They normally place above the prey, and they do something that you find pretty disgusting, which is that some species are able to eject their digestive system, o sea, echan para afuera su aparato digestivo, so this ambulacral system that we just saw, and they digest their prey outside. And once they have digested the prey, they take all the things that they have digested inside their body. Nice thing to do in this group. So as I was saying, these starfish in that case, they would be carnivores, but there are other options for them. For example, sea urchins are herbivores, as they live attached to the, let me show them to you, as they live attached to the rocks, such as these examples that you see here. What they're going to be doing is that they're going to be eating algae. So they more or less work as snails, as we have been seeing in previous groups, okay? As I was saying before, be careful when you find one, because it is really, really painful to be stuck with one of them. We eat them. I haven't tried them, but we eat them, and sometimes we eat them raw, as we do with other types of organisms, of these aquatic organisms that we consume. Nice. Then, sorry, what else do we have? If we're talking about feather stars or sea lilies, such as the ones that you have here, I just told you before that they are filter feeders, okay, so they are just filtering water, such as other organisms that we have seen in the invertebrate world. And then sea cucumbers, they are scavengers. You remember what a scavenger means, right? So they feed in dead organic matter. So in general, I normally like to say that these echinoderms, well, apart from starfish, they are like the vacuum cleaners of the ocean, because they're all the time or cleaning the surfaces from algae or cleaning the water from organic matter or from planktonic organisms. They are all the time like cleaning, renewing, in this case, all the nutrients of the aquatic environment. Good till here? I guess so. Then, if we talk about the reproduction, they reproduce sexually. They have separate sexes, so we have male and female organisms, and they lay eggs. They are oviparous. But some of them, and this is something that you know, and for sure I think that this is like the main characteristic that we think about when we think about the starfish, they also have the ability to reproduce asexually. Remember that when they lose one arm, you will see it in a video later, when they lose one arm, they are able to regenerate that arm, but also from the arm itself, if it has with it a part of the inner circle of the starfish, where the most important organs are, from one arm, one whole starfish can be born again. So yeah, in this case, they have the two options, sexual and asexual reproduction. Important power of regeneration in this case, in these organisms. And then if we talk about the interaction, as you see in the pictures, well, the majority of them are sessile. You remember this word? They cannot move, so they live attached to the bottom of the sea. But some of them can move, slow motion, but they can move. Yes, it's not like they would be winning a race or something with other animals, but they can move. So let's see how they do it. Let's see how they do it. Here you have an example of a starfish which is running in the beach in summer, like you. So what is it? Remember that we said that the organs are organized in the ambulacral system. Los órganos de las estrellas de mar se organizan en ese sistema ambulacral, but they are able to emit like prolongations of this ambulacral system, like tiny feet, to be able to move, okay? Even though you may think that this is moving so slow for a starfish, believe me, it is kind of fast. It's really curious because they have all the vital organs in every arm. They even have like an eye spot in every arm. Not like a proper eye, but it is a sensory organ which is able to feel light, okay? So yeah, here you have it. In this case, probably this one is looking for its way back to the sea, okay? But they would do that also when they are in the sea, to hunt or just to move and change the place where they are, okay? Nice. So another examples of starfish, well, you have here a lot of pictures. There are thousands of different species, okay? Then one of the most impressive ones for me is this one, which is the sunflower starfish, la estrella de mar girasol. This one is one of the biggest ones. It can be up to 1 meter of diameter, and as you see here in this case, not just 5 arms, but more, in this case, multiples of 5, okay? This one is a carnivore and it eats also other starfish, so pretty big. Then we have, for example, the brittle stars, which are a little bit different in shape. As you see, they have like a proper star in the middle, and then they have the arms like in a more separated way, right? Like the rest of the starfish that we normally know. These ones, I like them because they can be, many species can be bioluminescent. Remember that characteristic? That they can produce substances that make them glow in the dark, okay? Nice. Then we also talked about the feather stars, which are more related with sea lilies. And then we saw also sea cucumbers, los pepinos de mar. In this case, well, the sizes can vary a lot. They can be kind of big. There was a picture here of this crazy lady with one big one, but sometimes they can be smaller. They also have this ability of expelling out, like ejecting the digestive system, sometimes to digest their prey, sometimes to get away from predators, because their digestive systems can be toxic for other predators, so they emit it to get away from other organisms, okay? And sometimes they are able to, look here, this is the digestive system, like the intestines of one sea cucumber. And sometimes they are able to hide below the sand. They just move their tentacles or the digestive system, taking everything that is present in the water for them. So yeah, different techniques to survive. And that's it. I mean, we're done with the theory. We're going now to our chart to finish it. So remember that we're talking here about examples, environment, nutrition, respiration, and characteristics of the body. So in the examples, we can talk here about starfish or sea urchins or sea cucumbers, and finally sea lilies or feather stars if you want. Then in the environment, of course, they are aquatic. Related with the nutrition, we have said exactly that they are carnivores or herbivores or scavengers or even filter feeders. So the majority of options are available for them. Respiration, I haven't mentioned it in the explanation, but they have 2 ways of doing them. They can have very simple gills, but other species just perform respiration with the ambulacral system. Okay, so there's a direct exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the water. And finally, related with the body, well, we can say that they have this radial symmetry that we have commented before. They are divided into 5 parts of multiples or of multiples of 5. And then let's add here the ambulacral system, which is the most important vital organ that they have for organization of organs. And finally, the spiny skin, as the word itself says. Okay, that's it. So we are done with the theory. Now, I'm going to leave you in the chat in Teams some more videos that you can watch to finish understanding some of the impressive, in some cases, characteristics of the organism itself. There is one which is called the zombie starfish that I want you to analyze not only what you see in the video, but also what you're hearing. I want you to try to explain to me why this amazing thing that you're going to see in the video is happening to starfish. Okay, so enjoy the videos. And finally, if you finish watching the videos, these are the exercises that you have to do. So from the exercises that you have along the lesson, you have to do 21, 26, and 27. And from the revision activities, as usual, the green pages at the end of the lesson, 17, and 20. You know that I normally don't tell you the concrete pages because we have different versions of the book, so we have different page numbers as well. So remember, again, I insist, from the activities that you have along the lesson, 21, 26, 27, and from the revision activities at the end, 9, 17, and 20. They're very easy, but they're going to be helpful for you to revise the main characteristics of from mollusks until today, okay? Because we haven't done any activity to revise these other groups as well. So, well, I hope that you have enjoyed. Oh my God, quarter of time. It's so long. I always talk so much. I hope that you have enjoyed the video, that you have understood this simple group of organisms that was left for us today to study. I hope that you enjoy the videos right now and that you are able also, that you have time enough to do the exercises. If you don't finish them here in class, you have 1 week to do them because we don't see each other until next Friday. So they will be for homework, okay? Well, give me feedback later. Tell me what you think about the video and today's lesson, virtual lesson. And I hope that you have a great time in these 4 free days that we have. Enjoy Carnival time. Enjoy it thinking about your health and the health of your families. See you next week. Okay? Thank you to the teacher who has been here as well. Bye, big kiss. Mwah.